Hi and welcome to blackbeltguitar.co.uk. This lesson is going to be on open strings. So I'm just going to talk about the names of the open strings and how to get a nice tone when you're playing an open string. And we'll talk a little bit about the difference between an open string and a fretted note, and the next lesson will be on that. So if you just look what I'm doing with this hand, I'm just resting my thumb on the thinnest string here, so you can see me plucking that. It's just really a little flick of the string and it makes a noise. So if you listen to all the notes, they're all quite similar in volume and tone. That's really the main objective of this lesson, just to get the notes sounding nice and clear. We don't want to hear any buzzing or anything like that. We don't want to hear it sounding one loud, one soft, one loud, one soft. All the same volume and all the same tone if we can. So what I want you to do to start with, we're just going to rest your thumb. This hand's not important just now, so you just put it on the guitar. Make sure it's not touching any of the strings. So you just rest your thumb on the thinnest string and we're just going to pluck it 4 times. So just listen to me doing it and make sure you know what you're trying to do, and then you can join in. Don't join in straight away, try and make sure you've got it clear in your head what we're going to do. So we're just going to flick the string 4 times, then stop. So 1, 2, 3, 4, stop. And to stop the string I just put my finger on the string and that deadens the sound. So we'll do it again, and I'll keep doing it. I'll do it over for a little while and you can join in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, stop. So the objective is to get all the notes sounding the same volume and the same sort of tone. We're aiming for consistency. So what we're going to do after that is we're going to practice changing strings. So you're just plucking that string 2, 3, 4, then you just jump up, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, then it's jump down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you notice when I'm doing that, I'm hardly moving. Sometimes when people do it, they'll go. And when you do that, you tend to make mistakes. Again, this idea of economy of movement is very important. You don't want to be moving too much. Less movement, there's less room for things to go wrong, and less movement, the faster you'll do it. So I'm just going to do 4 of the first string and then 4 of the second string. And I'm going to loop it over. So it's important that when you're playing the first string, you're thinking about the second string. And when you're playing the second string, you're thinking about the first string. You're always thinking ahead, never thinking about what you're doing. Better to be thinking about what's coming up next. So it's open, 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 jump up, 1, 2, 3, 4, down, 1, 2, 3, thinking up, 4, up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're just practicing changing between adjacent strings just now. So it's that string, then I want you to do that string, 2, 3, 4, that string, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So just practice that on all the strings, just work your way up the guitar and then work your way back down. So when you get to the top, it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the object of this lesson is just to get your fingers moving independently. The guitar is quite a difficult instrument to learn because there's nothing really like it. Your fingers aren't used to working independently. Normally they work as a group. So try and remember that. A lot of people struggle with finger independence because your fingers don't work as groups normally. Your fingers, normally work as groups. They don't normally work as individuals. So we have to train them a little bit to get them working independently. So just practice playing open strings adjacent to each other. We'll cover strings that aren't adjacent to each other in another lesson, but for now just do the strings that are adjacent to each other, and practice getting consistency of volume, consistency of tone. Make sure you're not hitting the wrong string. To practice trying to isolate the change between the strings, that's quite important. And as I say, the less you move when you're doing it, the better. Don't want to see you going. Just keep the movement very small, and things will be a lot easier for you. So now what we're going to do is I just want to teach you the names of the open strings. So the thinnest string is an E string, the next string up's a B string, the next string up's a G string, the next string up's a D string, next one's an A string, next one's an E string again. Okay, so you've probably forgotten all that, which tells us that we need an easier way to remember it. How I was taught to remember it was that you assign a word to each of the strings, and the first letter of the word tells you the name of the string. So the way I was taught was Easter bunnies get drunk at Easter. So it's E, B, G, D, A, B. So Easter bunnies get drunk at Easter. At Black Belt Guitar, we don't endorse getting drunk at Easter or any other time. It's not a good idea when you're playing guitar. It's better to be sober. So it doesn't represent how we feel about getting drunk at Easter. It's just an easy way to remember the names of the strings. So this lesson was on playing open strings and the names of the open strings. So just to summarise, important not to move any more than you need to, and important to listen to what you're doing so that all the notes sound the same volume and the same tone. We don't want any noises that don't sound good. Just try and keep the volume the same and the tone the same. So just a little bit of practice, you'll have that, and then you can move on to the next lesson, which is going to be open strings and fretted notes.